Hello, class 7 students. Last few weeks, I had shared a few videos as well as question answers related to the first lesson, that is nutrition in plants. Now I'm sharing a video so that it becomes more clear to you. So let's proceed with this lesson, that is nutrition in plants. Going to deal with the introductory part. Then the second is the mode of nutrition in plants. And the third one is the photosynthesis. Point is the introduction. All living organisms such as plants and animals require food. Why do we require food? We require food for the survival. It is essential for all living organisms. Without food, can we survive? No, no one can survive. So, what is the basic necessity of food? First is uh, not only for survival, we require food to obtain an energy so that we can perform all the activities. Second is we require food for the growth of the different parts of the body. Then is we require food for the repairing of the damaged body parts and to carry out all the life processes, whether it's digestion, respiration, excretion, etc. Now, if we compare all the living organisms as well as plants, so what is the basic difference between them? What do you think? Yes, that is, the plants are capable of making their own food by themselves. They are not dependent on anyone. Are they? No, because they are able to make their own food. But human beings and other animals, we are directly or indirectly dependent on plants. Now, there are various essential components, okay, which are present in the food, like in the form of carbohydrates, proteins, fats, vitamins, and minerals. And what are these components called? These components are called as nutrients, which we have already learned in the last class. So students, in this lesson, we are going to learn about the nutrition in plants. So first we should know what is nutrition. What is the meaning of the term nutrition? So nutrition is nothing but it is a process, okay? It is a process of taking food by an organism. And after taking in food, what has to be done? It is being digested, then it is being absorbed and then utilized by the body. Okay, why? To obtain energy, yes, to perform all the life activities. So that is called nutrition. So I'll just repeat the definition of nutrition. Nutrition is the process of taking food by an organism and its digestion, absorption and utilization of by the body. Now, plants prepare their food by using the raw materials like water, carbon dioxide, and minerals. And the process of utilization of food by a living organism to obtain energy is called nutrition. In simple terms, we can define like this also. Now, below you can see there is a figure given showing the two different modes of nutrition found in plants. Okay, so what are the two different modes of nutrition found in plants? The first one is the autotrophic nutrition, and the second one is the heterotrophic mode of nutrition. So this we are going to study one by one in the next. First one, that is the autotrophs or autotrophic. So plants that have chlorophyll, okay, be aware that all plants do not have chlorophyll. There are few plants, they don't have chlorophyll, so they cannot synthesize their own food. So the plants that have chlorophyll, they trap the energy from the sun and prepare their own food. And you've already learned what is that process called? Yes, very true. That is photosynthesis. Now, such nutrition wherein the food is prepared by the organism itself, yes, is called as the autotrophic nutrition. Okay. and the organisms which are capable of preparing their own food are called as autotrophs. So all green plants are autotrophs as they can prepare their own food. And what is the meaning of auto? Auto means self and tropos means nourishment. That is preparing their own food by themselves and providing nourishment to them. Okay, they prepare their food by the process called as photosynthesis. Okay, now the second one is the heterotrophs or the heterotrophic nutrition. Now heterotrophic organisms are those who obtain food from other organisms, means they cannot synthesize their own food, they cannot make their own food, so they are dependent on what, on the other organisms for their food. So they are called as what, consumers. Yes, so all animals, including human beings, non-green plants like fungi, come under this category. And organisms that shows or follow the heterotrophic mode of nutrition are called as heterotrophs. Okay, so I think you are clear with both the terms autotrophs and heterotrophs. This chapter, we are going to learn the next topic, that is photosynthesis. Now, in the previous slide, we learned that green plants are what? They are autotrophs. Yes, so they can make their own food by the process of photosynthesis. So, in this topic, we are going to learn in detail about the process of photosynthesis. So, before we move further, okay, so first I'll share a brief information about this. Now the term photosynthesis, okay, was given by an American botanist, named as Charles Reed Barnes, okay, in the year 1893. In which year? 1893. And what was the name of the American botanist? It was Charles Reed Barnes. Okay. Now, and the term photosynthesis, this term photosynthesis, if we break it, we'll see that it is comprised of two words, that is photo and synthesis. So the meaning of photo means what? Photo means light, and synthesis means what? Putting together. So what we can say, photosynthesis means putting together all the raw materials in the presence of light. Okay, now so let's see what is photosynthesis. Now, photosynthesis is what? It is a process of making food, okay, with the help of what? Carbon dioxide and water. So these are the raw materials, that is carbon dioxide and water are the raw materials with the help of which the food is being made by the plants. The second one, now we know that, now in a very simple example, now when your mother cooks food, okay, what does she require, or what do we require while cooking food? We require what? The energy, that is in the form of gas stove. Yes, the flame, the energy has to provide it, then only the food is being cooked. So same here, the sun, okay, provides the energy in the form of what? Light energy or solar energy, which is very very essential for this process. Okay, now third one is what? The most important part is the green chlorophyll. It's a green pigment which is present in the leaf inside the chloroplast, and this pigment absorbs the light energy and helps in the process of photosynthesis. So I'll just repeat these steps once again. That is, first is photosynthesis, nothing but it is a process of making food from carbon dioxide and water with the help of what? Light energy. And who absorbs this light energy? It's the green pigment called chlorophyll. And where is it present? It is present in the chloroplast. And where is this chloroplast present? In the leaf. Okay, now there are few conditions which are necessary for photosynthesis. Yes, that we have already learned in the first slide. That is the light which we get from the sun. Then second is what we need, carbon dioxide. Okay, from where do the plants get the carbon dioxide? From the atmosphere. Yes, which the other living organism exhales, okay, during uh, breathing process. Yes, as well as during combustion, that is burning of various materials, also releases carbon dioxide in the atmosphere. So the plant utilizes this carbon dioxide by the process of diffusion. Now you have to only be aware with this term diffusion, that is diffuses from the air, which you learn in the next class. Okay, and the third raw material or the conditions necessary for photosynthesis is water, which they absorb through their roots from the soil. Okay, and these three basic things which are required, apart from that, the most essential part is what? That's the green pigment chlorophyll, because if chlorophyll is not there, then will the plants or the leaves will be able to uh, absorb the sun rays or the sunlight? No. So all these four things are very, very essential for the process of photosynthesis. And when the photosynthesis is done, so what is the end product? It is the glucose. Okay, it's a glucose. Glucose is what? It's a type of carbohydrate, simple sugar, which is stored in the plants, in the different parts of the plant, as well as oxygen is released into the atmosphere. Where does photosynthesis take place? Means what organelle does photosynthesis take place in? So we learned that in chloroplast. Okay, the main site where the process of photosynthesis takes place is chloroplast. And where is chloroplast present? It is present in the inside the leaves. Okay, where and how can we see through a naked eye? No, we cannot see it. When you view through an electron microscope, then these chloroplasts will be visible. So towards the left hand side, can you see there's a figure of sun? So from the sun, which energy are we getting? That is the solar energy. So this solar energy is being trapped by the chloroplast, which is present in the leaves. And what happens, this energy, it combine, there's a reaction, chemical reaction takes place between carbon dioxide and water in the presence of this energy, which has been trapped by the chloroplast, and this changes into a new compound, that is what? Sugar, as well as an gas is being released, that is oxygen. Now towards the right side, you can see there's one more diagram. This is the inner section of the chloroplast. Okay, so there are few terms like granum, lumen, thylakoids, stroma. Okay, these are new terms which is not mentioned in your textbook. So we'll not go in depth regarding this, but I'll just give you a brief information. Now, as you can see, there are two layers of the chloroplast. One is the outer membrane and the next one is the inner membrane. So there are two layers, of chloroplast. And can you see here, there are like a pile-like structure. Okay. So these, one singular uh, disc, this circular disc, okay, that is called as the thylakoid. Okay, as there are many, so these are called as thylakoids, and this whole stack of thylakoids are called as granum, which is given here. Okay, and these all are interconnected. And there is a term lumen. Lumen means what? There is a cavity, there is an inner space inside this thylakoids, which is called as the lumen. And inside this chloroplast, okay, there is a liquid which is filled inside it, called as the stroma. Okay, now moving ahead to the, now let's study in detail the process of photosynthesis. Okay, now in the figure you can see there is a picture of a plant. Then there's a presence of sunlight is there. Then and the basic essential requirements for this process. So first point is the process of photosynthesis takes place in the green leaves of a plant. Yes, Now, the second point is the food which is prepared by the green leaves of a plant, which is in the form of a simple sugar. What is that called? That is called as glucose. And you know very well the plants do not make food in a limited amount but in a huge amount, and the extra glucose are stored in the different parts of the plant in the form of what? Starch. Okay, and it is the green plants, they convert the light energy, that is the solar energy, into a chemical energy, because there's a chemical reaction which takes place. And what does it makes? It makes the carbohydrates. And what is that carbohydrate called? Glucose. Okay, and after that the extra glucose are stored in the form of starch. Now, how the plants obtain carbon dioxide? Okay, now carbon dioxide and water are the two essential requirements for the process of photosynthesis, and apart from that, they require chlorophyll and sunlight. So, how carbon dioxide, enters the plants? How do they take in? So, let's see this. Now, this is a picture of a leaf. So, when seen under electron microscope, we can see such, uh, f- um, uh, what we say, the chlorophyll, guard cells, and the stoma. And we have learned about that there are small openings under surface of the leaf, and these small openings are called as what? Stomata. Okay, as you can see, there is one stomatal opening, and which is being guarded by a pair of kidney shaped cells called as the guard cells. So there are a large number of tiny pores, okay, called as the stomata on the under surface or the surface of the leaves of plants. So carbon dioxide, which is present in the atmosphere, enters the leaves of the plant through this stomata, which is present on the under surface of their leaf. So each stomatal pore is surrounded by what? By a pair of guard cells. Yes, and these guard cells controls the opening and the closing of these pores when required. Means it cannot remain open throughout the day, because that will lead to what? To the loss of water, and the plant may wither, they may dry, or they may die. So according to the requirement, they open as well as they close. That how the plants obtain water for the process of photosynthesis. Now same you can see in the diagram, that is water being absorbed by what? By the root, and through root they travel through the stem and reaches what? To the leaves, to each and every part of the leaves where the process of photosynthesis takes place. Okay, and if you remember, in the last class we had learned about that in the stem there are like few channel like structures called as the xylem vessels, okay, through which water which is being absorbed by the roots, travel through these xylem vessels and then reaches up to the leaves. So just we'll go through these a few points which has been mentioned here. The water which is required by the plants for the process of photosynthesis is absorbed by the root of the plant from the soil through the process of osmosis. Okay, like in the last slide, I had used the term diffusion. So here also you came across this is a new term, osmosis, which we'll be learning in detail afterwards. But just remember through which process the water is being absorbed through the roots, by the process of osmosis. Okay, so now the water which is being absorbed by the roots is transported upwards, okay, through the xylem vessels, okay, to the leaves where it reaches the photosynthetic cells. Okay, now the plants also need other raw materials apart from carbon dioxide, water, chlorophyll, sunlight. There are certain other materials which are also required for the building of the body, that is nitrogen, phosphorus, iron, magnesium, and all these substances or the materials are being taken by the roots only. They're absorbed by the roots from the soil. Now, and of all these materials, nitrogen is the most essential element. Okay, which has been used by the plants to make proteins and other compounds. Now, we can also represent the process of photosynthesis in the form of a word equation. So let's have a look. First is the two basic essential things, that is carbon dioxide and water in the presence of sunlight, that is the light energy. And what does it require? Chlorophyll, because it's the chlorophyll which traps the light energy. Okay, so all these things, all carbon dioxide and water combines together, and there's a chemical reaction which takes place, and what has been formed? Sugar, that is a carbohydrate, and oxygen is being released. Yes, I think till here everything is quite clear to each and every one. Now moving ahead to our assignment part. So here are three questions related to this video, which you are going to write in any of your science notebook or any of your rough notebook, which had already been mentioned prior. The first one is define the term nutrition. Second question is name the two modes of nutrition found in plants. And the third one is why do organisms need food? So in the write all these three answers. In the next session, we are going to deal few more questions related to this video. Thank you.